Excuse me. Greetings, my family. It's Anna Renee, your love power goddess, coming to you at 11 o'clock in the morning, live, trying to do something, trying to do this, trying to see if this is going to actually work, if I'm actually going to have the stamina and the wherewithal to do two lives in one day, twice, today and tomorrow. I'm going to see if that actually works and who's going to be here. Whether you're here now or later, is all good because I'm just going to be reading through the sign of Virgo, the Virgin, right now to see what this wonderful book that I have been reading from has got to say about what it means when you are a Virgo. So, my people, peace and blessings to each and every one of you all. Thank you all for being here at whichever time is convenient, whether you're here now or later. I am thankful to you for even taking the time to listen to any of these things that I'm talking about concerning astrology and the reading of this book that I have been getting deeper and deeper into and have been enjoying more and more. Is a really good book. It's really good. It's actually real good. And so, my people, let me start reading from it since it's so good. And bless each and every one of you, especially you who are Virgo. We're doing the sun and the moon, okay, as we have been doing. Virgo. I have to admit that Virgo is a sign that I haven't really done any real studying about. And that's, I've been remiss in that. So I'm not so familiar with the energy of Virgo. Everybody knows the energy of Scorpio and, stuff like that. But what about Virgo? Not to say that, let me just get into it. Good morning to you all, and thank you. Well, it's morning time here. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be here in this world of ours. But let's get to this, okay? Let's get to this, all right? For breakfast, I ate watermelon for breakfast, so it's possible that I might start that cleansing reaction stuff. But anyway, that all besides the point being the sun in Virgo, the essence of the sun in Virgo, living. Remember, like I told you guys, that it's always living when it comes to the sun energy, living through analyzing. So, this is what the deal is with Virgo, analyzing. And we all have Virgo somewhere in our chart. That's what's so wonderful about having your natal chart done. So, living through analyzing, the noble helper and the perfectionist. The perfectionist, okay. The sun in Virgo, the perfectionist. And these earrings that I'm wearing, made by a sister friend of mine who is a Virgo. I've been knowing this person since, like, let's see, did I tell you guys my age? I've been knowing her since like I was 6 years old. She is an artist. Now, one day, well, should I tell the story now or later? One day we went, I'll tell it now. One day I made the mistake of going with her to go shopping for her jewelry to make her stones to make her jewelry. And we know that the Virgo is a perfectionist, right? Okay. And yeah, I went with her to Michael's or wherever we went in San Leandro, me and another one of her friends. If we were in that place waiting for her to choose these beautiful stones, and it's worthwhile that she put that much work into it. For hours, she had us hemmed up while she was in there looking at packages of stones at Michael's, and she would look at them. She's going to crack up when she sees this. Hopefully, she won't see it. But she would look at the stone and then she would turn it one facet and look at it carefully. Then she turn it other facet and look at it. And she's doing this. Oh my God. Never again will I go shopping with you for stones for your jewelry because I know you take that seriously. And it's a good thing that she does because look at these beautiful earrings. Okay. I've been having these from her for a real long time, about almost 10 years, probably close to 10 years. So, yes, perfectionist takes time. Okay, now let's get into it. Virgo has its roots in the Vestal Virgin principle, which stresses the importance of maintaining the purity of the individual or anything else, the purity, and ensuring that it remains unsullied by society's polluting and corrupting ways. As the sign of the harvest, your task is to separate the wheat from the chaff. Wow, that's some serious work right there. The useful from the useless. Through such constant analysis, you strive to reach a state of purity, of being a clear channel of expression. There are two types of Virgoing, the purist and the Puritan. Okay. The Puritan attempts to avoid anything regarded as physically unwholesome, emotionally threatening, or mentally indigestible. You know what? I had not even asked you guys if you can hear me. I'm hoping that you can hear me. I see some family here. I don't know who you are. You haven't commented yet, but thumbs are going up. So I guess you can hear me. I hope you can. Let me not interrupt myself. Okay. Let me try not to do that. Okay. There are two types of Virgoing, the purist and the Puritan. The beautiful Bernice. Hello, Virgo. Yes. Are you a Virgo, beautiful Bernice? Yes, you are. 9767. All right. All right. Yes, Virgo, you guys are perfectionists, and it's for a good reason. You're trying to separate the wheat from the chaff. We don't need the trash of the world. We need the good stuff, right? Yes. Thank you, Virgo, for being your Virgo and selves. Okay. So let's learn a little bit more about you all. All right. There are two types of Virgoans, the purist and the Puritan. The Puritan attempts to avoid anything regarded as physically unwholesome, emotionally threatening, or mentally indigestible. This is the picky, squeaky clean type who is not really. I just remember my sister friend and how she was taking forever. We were in there for 2 hours, and she was in the same row, in the same aisle with the same row of same row of stones. And it was fun though. It was fun. Me and her friend, we just sat outside and just watched people go by as she was in there picking her stones. It was okay. I love Virgo, is what I'm learning. Okay. The purist, on the other hand, trusts his or her innate purity to not only withstand involvement with potentially corrupting elements, but actually attempts to influence them with that purity. It should be noted that as a Virgoan, you may have elements of both the Puritan and the purist distributed through your personality. For example, the purist could get involved on a mental and a physical level, but the Puritan could be uninvolved on an emotional level. That's serious. That's some serious stuff right there. There are, of course, other permutations here, but this is probably the most common one, which can lead to being abandoned by your mate or to not having one at all. And although you can appear to be self sufficient, you in fact need mutual caring and sharing, albeit of a very particular kind. So let me read the comments. Colleen, all my friends, I hear you fine. Okay, thank you. Melba B, Virgo Uranus, Virgo daughter, August 24th, 2003. All right. And Brittany Robinson, yes, September 18th, 1989. You're almost on the cusp, huh, Brittany, of Virgo and Libra, huh? And the beautiful Bernice, yes, we getting ready to turn it up. Okay, yes, Virgos turn it up too. Yes, we are. Okay, I'm talking as though I am a Virgo. I got Virgo somewhere in my chart. I don't know where, but it's there somewhere. All right, all right. As a Virgoan, you must have a work or be of some kind of service in order to make sense of life. Okay. You are constantly preparing for something, and unless you know or feel quite what that something is, you can become frustrated with an all work and no play makes for a dull life type of situation. The task of Virgo is a difficult one, and so you need to perfect some form of technique. Your Virgo rising, Colleen, yes. All right. And in Mo, September 20th, 1987. Yeah, that's right on the cusp. You got some Libra stuff going on with you, obviously, huh? Check it out. Check that out about yourself, okay? And I'll be reading Libra later on today, so stay here with me, okay? At 4 o'clock, I'm gonna do Libra. All right, let me try to get this in here. The task of Virgo is a difficult one, and so you need to perfect some form of technique through study and training. This will minimize wear and tear, especially of the nervous system and the intestines. Now we know that let me hold my spot right here. That going against our nature has an effect, and sometimes we don't know our nature. We're not familiar with ourselves if we're not dealing through astrology. But going against our nature can have an effect on your physical body. There's probably lots of people walking around here in the hospitals of the world with some kind of situation going on based on not dealing with their own nature and not knowing their own nature and going against their own nature. And it it affects them physically. It manifests itself in the physicalities, the different illnesses. There is a book by Louise Hay called You Can Heal Your Life, and she talks about certain types of emotions and how they come out and manifest as certain types of illnesses. So that stuff is real, okay? Let's see. And will also equip you for an efficient work role without which you are unhappy. You need a work role or you won't be your happy self. Virgo is the sign of health, which, in addition to technique, means giving yourself the time and the space to assimilate things properly through regular rest and retreat and correct diet. More esoterically, Virgo's concern is where and how the psyche meets the soma. The soul interacts with the body. So your body is very much the barometer of your physical condition, yes. However, you should endeavor not to allow your physical state to rule your life, but rather to understand that your body will serve you well if you observe carefully and inwardly what it is telling you. Yes, you got to be very well aware of your state, your feelings. I wonder if that's hard for you, Virgo. Being earth sign, right? Virgos are earth signs, right? I know as the air sign element within me, it's hard for me to tap into those emotions. We need to connect more with our water energy. It's very important. Yes. Not to say that some Virgos don't already, but I'm just saying. So, my people, discover precisely what you are devoted to, and you will then realize that you need not be so hard on yourself. Okay. Blessed be. All right, my people. Let's see. Colleen, all my friends, I believe it. We cause our own health challenges due to emotions, perspectives, and stresses. Yeah. And that's why it's so important, it's so extremely important who you allow to tweak your emotions. There are some people out here in this world who are here to tweak your emotions towards you getting ill. Okay. They're here to mess you up. I don't have to go into any details about what it is I'm suggesting. Okay. I think you guys can pick the vibrations of what I'm saying. Make sure that you're not paying attention to the crap. Okay. Especially as a Virgo, you're supposed to separate the wheat from the chaff. Okay. Don't be messing with the chaff. Okay. You know what that is. All right. So let's deal with the with the transformer that I always talk about. With this particular book, this author goes into this thing he calls the transformer, which is just a set of words that break down the positives, the negatives, the problems, and the solutions to what you could be feeling as a Virgo. All right, based on your emotions and just the way you are set up. So the positives. Oh, and again, this book is called Do It Yourself Astrology. Okay. It's a really good book. It's old. I think it was published probably around 2000 or somewhere. It's a real good book. It's not easily available these days, but if you get your hands on it, if you're into astrology, you might be doing something good. Or you could just come here and I'm going to read it and then you'll pick up on the vibes. All right. So the transformer in the positive is saying that you, Virgo, are thoughtful, analytical, you got a lively mind, and you're observant. Okay. But in the negative, you think too much, you're skeptical, you're a worrier, and you are critical. You're skeptical, worrying, and critical. You must have let too many aspects of the chaff in. You didn't get that out. All right, so the problem could be you're living in your head, and the skull is one very cramped space. You're living in your head, and the skull is one very cramped space. And so the solution would be regard your mind as a lens, not as a light, a film, or a screen. As a lens, not as a light, a film, or a screen. Regard your mind as a lens. You Virgos probably understood that. I didn't. Okay, regard your mind as a lens, not as a light, a film, or a screen. All right. More positives for Virgo. All right. You're scholarly, you're precise, you have pure intentions, and you're discriminating. Okay. That's that separating the wheat from the chaff. But in a negative, you can be dry, pedantic, too earnest, and fault finding. Of course, I got to look up that word pedantic. I've been seeing that word a lot in this book. Pedantic definition. Let's try that again. Pedantic definition.
Here's the definition of pedantic. Ever like a pedant.
All right. Pedant definition.
Here's the definition of patent. A government authority or license conferring a right or title for a set period.
You're screwing up,
especially the sole
Siri.
right to exclude
You're
others.
messing up. Okay, I said pedant, not patent. Sorry, you guys. I want to know what that word pedant means. A person who is excessively concerned with minor details and rules or with displaying academic learning. Oh, okay. Petty, I guess is what you're mean. Okay. Anyway, all right. Dry, pedantic, too earnest, and fault finding. for our Virgos. We don't want to be like that. And the reason, the problem could be that life feels increasingly uncomfortable with every flaw you detect. Wow, that's heavy. Life feels heavier and more problematic because you keep finding fault. Each time you find a fault, it bothers you and makes you more worried than before. It's going to get hard if you keep that up, all right? So the solution is true perfection consists of being able to accept life's imperfections. I like that. True perfection, Virgo, consists of being able to accept life's imperfection. That's perfection, being able to accept the imperfections. That's going to release a whole lot of stress on you because you're going to find those imperfections because that's just your nature. You're going to see them, you know, and they're going to make you worried, dry, pedantic, and fault finding, you know. Let that go. Virgo, don't do all of that, all right? In more, yes. That's you. I don't like how this feels, how that feels. Yeah, it's going to feel bad, you know. So you got to remember, well, life is perfect when it's imperfect. It's like that song that Grace Jones sang. I'm not perfect, but I'm perfect for you. That's it. That's got to be your song right there. Okay. Don't worry about it, girls, boys. There's balance, you know. Nothing is perfect, whatever that is, you know. Anyway, more positivities for the Virgo. You're helpful, you're problem solving, you're wholesome, and you're health conscious. Oh, okay. Health conscious. All right. But in the negative, it could be you're interfering, you're problem making, you're a fuss pot, and you're a hypochondriac. Wow, that's serious. The positive would be you're helpful and you solve problems, you're wholesome, and you're conscious. But the opposite or the negative is the exact opposite. You're interfering rather than being helpful. You're problem making rather than being problem solving. You're a fuss pot, fussing over every little thing. Okay. Or you're a hypochondriac rather than being health conscious. Okay. And hypochondria is just a bad deal. You know, you're always sick. You create sicknesses, you know. That's no good. That's not how you're supposed to do it. That's only in the negative. That's the negative. Well, not everybody is negative. But the problems, if you happen to have that thing going on, could be that irritable and worried all the time. You're irritable and you're worried all the time. If you're worried all the time, yeah, you're going to be irritable, you know. Unaware that a bit of chaos is in order. Okay, more of that. Allow a little bit of chaos to be because that's in order. It's there's supposed to be a little bit of chaos, you know, and you're going to spot it too. You're going to see all of that stuff. That's just your superpower. You see it. That's your superpower, but you got to manage that superpower, okay? Don't let it manage you. So the solution would be if it works, don't try to fix it, okay? Help where it isn't needed doesn't help, okay? Yeah. Help where it isn't needed is not even help, okay? I know that you want to be helpful and you feel like you want to find some place to help, but you gotta tone it down, you gotta chill a little bit, let people, do some things, let them make some mistakes, let them mess up a little bit, and learn their lessons. You ain't got to solve everything, you ain't got to fix everything, Virgo. You're gonna be a hypochondriac worried to death if you're trying to deal with every little thing you spot, and you will spot it because that's your superpower. All right, more positives for a sun in Virgo. You're industrious, you're methodical, you're efficient, and you are reliable. But in the negative, okay, is that you are a workaholic. You're inflexible, you're mechanistic, and you're a spoil sport. A spoil sport. Hmm. Okay. So what's going on with that? The problem could be life becomes a meaningless drudge. Wow. Okay. Your efforts are taken for granted. Yeah, help where it isn't needed isn't help. And plus, people get messed up and mad at you for interfering. They're going to think you're, a busybody interfering. There's something about there's something about when you interfere with somebody with help. They really hate that. They hate it. I've done that in my life. And I'm not even a Virgo, but Virgo's somewhere in my chart, I know. So yeah, what could be problematic for you right now is that life becomes a meaningless drudge. So you're busy doing stuff, busy, 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 and there's no meaning behind it. Okay, your efforts are taken for granted. So the solution would be to conceive of a more wonderful reason for striving. So you're going to have to sit down with yourself and figure out what this whole thing is about. What are you doing with your energies? How are you manifesting your energies, your superpowers? You got to have a reason for doing the work. You can't just be doing meaningless work, okay? Or it's going to have a negative effect on your health, okay? So conceive of a more wonderful reason for striving. Put some madness into your method. I like that. Put some madness into your method. Usually you hear that being said, method in madness, but madness into method. So basically, what they're saying is for you to relax and let things, let a little mess up happen. Don't worry about it if it's messed up a little bit. Don't let it bother you, okay? So, more positives for you, Virgo, is dispassionate. That's a positive. Dispassionate. All right. Modest, considerate, and pure. But the negative would be clinical, unsure, standoffish, and sterile. Wow, that's when you get to be kind of coldish. I wonder if that's an issue for you, Virgo. Do people see you as being kind of cold and harsh? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. I'm trying to learn about Virgo, okay? The problem might be that the wallflower left on the shelf. Wait a minute. The problem could be that the wallflower. What about the wallflower though? Left on the shelf, intact but lonely. Oh, okay. Everything is perfect, but nobody is there. Oh, okay. Yeah, you are the wallflower. You're beautiful over there against the wall, but you're not in the mix with the rest of the people. You're not dancing. You're on the wall. That's no good. Unless it's good. Some people like being a wallflower. Left on the shelf, intact but lonely. Okay, so what you got to do? What's the solution to that? There must be passion there. There must be passion there in order for you to purify it. So quietly express it. There must be passion there in order for you to purify it. So quietly express it. So you got to quietly express it. What is the it that you got to express? Okay. There must, whatever it is, there's got to be passion in it. Okay. So you got to relax, basically, is what they're saying when it's negative, when it's negative. Okay. So, my people, let's talk about the sun, I mean, the moon in Virgo. That I got to, let's see. Hang with me, you sun in Virgo people. Check out what they're saying about the moon in Virgo. You might not have a moon in Virgo, but let's see what they're saying about it anyway. Okay. In Mo, unfortunately, I just come off hard and emotionless, but I low key feel everything. Yeah, see, it always be that way. You just come off like that. It's okay. I see that expressing those emotions could be a problem for the earth signs as well as the air signs, because I was talking about this when I did the Cancer reading, right? And because my moon is in Aquarius, and there's issues with expressing those emotions, and I just come across kind of bland when it comes to the emotions. And I was saying that's it's been hard for me in my life with that because my entire family is water signs. Most of my family, I would say 75% of my family has got a water sign. My son is a Scorpio. My daughter-in-law is a Pisces. My first husband was a Pisces. Uh, his sister was a Pisces. Her son, my nephew, is a Pisces. Okay. My born sister is my blood sister is a Pisces, Aquarius. Okay. So a huge amount of water there, you know. My mother's a Gemini though. So expressing those emotions didn't come across easy. And so I looked a particular way. At least I felt like I looked a particular way to my family, you know. It's better late to learn this stuff than never. That's why astrology is so wonderful in my view. But anyway, let's deal with the moon in Virgo. Brittany, you're quietly observing as I'm very sensitive to energy. Yeah, yeah. In Mo, you have a Virgo sun and a moon in Leo. Oh, okay. I just did Leo. Read what moon in Leo be, how they be doing. The moon in Leo is very interesting. Yeah, that's a lot of water. My fire was just pretty much out, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I know this. I I did not express myself fully. You know, I didn't. I remember one time when I was like a teenager, my mom and myself, we were dealing with some issue, and they there was somebody that was coming against my mom in a particular kind of way, and I wanted to go off. You know, I wanted, and I was like 16. I wanted to like tell them off. My mom was like, "Calm down. No, you're not gonna do it like that." She's a Gemini, and when she did that, that 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 affected my life from that point on, because I was ready to go off. My fire was up, you know. But this is a teenage girl, and her mother trying to, tell her how to relax and chill. And no, you're not gonna go off. Messed me up for a long time. And I don't blame mom. That's just some of the stuff that goes on when you don't understand each other. She expected me to respond as she would, being that she's a Gemini, but I'm not a Gemini though. I'm a Sagittarius, so I should be able to respond the way a Sagittarius would, right? It's a lot of that kind of stuff. We have to understand each other. Yeah, being observant is one of my things too. Yeah, but anyway, my people, you see how this stuff can really affect our relationships with each other, the struggles that we go. It's just a matter of not understanding each other and how we respond, or allowing space for that. Why should, and I've done the same thing to my son. He's a Scorpio, and that's a lot of water, okay? And then there's the energy that goes along with being Scorpio, but I'm a Sagittarius. I want to respond this kind of way. You need to pick up a book and learn something, but that's not anyway, my people. You see how it goes, right? So the moon in Virgo, the essence of that security, and the moon is always going to be about security. Yeah. And it's the security through analyzing. Security and purity. Trust your darker side. Oh, okay. Let's see. What's this going to be about? Trust your darker side. Okay. Security is sought through analyzing. This is moon in Virgo, you guys. Okay. Hi, son. Look at that. Here's my son. Yes. Okay. There he is. That's the Scorpio right there. Okay. Security is sought through analyzing, which can lead either to a pure and well ordered emotional lifestyle, whereby you consistently weed out influences that are detrimental to your well being, or to one that is prudish and fastidious. All right. Whereby you try to govern your feelings as if they were things to be tidied away. In either case, you would need to cultivate some open ended tolerance and acceptance of life's imperfections. So it's always about that with Virgo. You got to become a little bit more tolerating. You can't be perfectionist or it's going to have a negative effect. Now, when it's in the moon, okay, I really want to see how this goes, okay? Behind such exacting emotional requirements, um, as you feel subject to, there lies your mother's influence, which on the positive side was likely to have been clear and wholesome, or on the negative, may have been critical and narrow. See, there it is. Okay. And with the moon, there's always that influence of the mother within the emotions and just the way you deal with yourself, no matter what the sign is. Okay. No matter what your sign is, when it's in the moon. Okay. In either case, this could have led to your being afraid of your dark side showing. Dark side meaning anything that your mother or any other influential childhood figure found unacceptable. Uh-oh. Well, we're not talking about Scorpio right now. Okay. Let's see. For example, your more earthy or raw emotions possibly got branded as vulgar or crude, with the result that the healthy but sticky passions that keep relationships glued together became repressed and devolved instead into a lurking urge. Wow, this sounds very dark, you know. Apart from weakening bonds in this fundamental way, there is the added strain of constantly trying to maintain a goody two shoes image, because such emotional fastidiousness can leave you on the shelf, or at least left alone too often. It is advisable for you to trust life to unfold according to itself rather than how you think it ought to. Sanity is not always sanitary. I like that. Sanity is not always sanitary. And what is wholesome obviously includes everything. All right. Uh, yeah, sanity is not always sanitary. Yeah. There's some sane people walking around here. You know what I'm saying? They might as well tap into some insanity sometimes, you know. A feeling of security can also be attained through being of service in some way, in particular with regard to health. You can go to great lengths, and I guess that's why they talk about how Virgos are really good when it comes to just the health professions. And they end up being nurses and, stuff like that, teachers, nurses, just in that way. And I would imagine in the moon energy, like if you happen to have a moon in Virgo, that can go real deep. You can go to great lengths to help others as if you thrive on it. And you do. This sense of service can also satisfy your need for purity, in that you are able with great thoroughness to clean up anything that is messy or polluted. Or else you can go around as if you have a bad smell under your nose. What could that be? Wow, that's serious. Virgo is a sign that can polarize. This strong need to be so orderly and clean can turn into the opposite, you being untidy or loose, either voluntarily or otherwise. So that, I guess they're okay. What you saying, son? It's interesting that you're streaming and I'm catching this because I'm going through it right now with a few recent deaths. Oh, okay. And I'm sorry about that, son. Yeah, I saw that you had uploaded something, about somebody else passing. Yep, divine orders is interesting. Is interesting. Yeah. A feeling of security can also be attained through being of service in some way, in particular with regard to health. You can go to a great lengths to help others as if you thrive on it, and you do. This sense of service can also satisfy your need for purity in that you are able with great thoroughness to clean up anything that's messy or polluted. I mean, this is your superpower, cleaning up, separating the wheat from the chaff, just cleaning up stuff. But, all right. Or else you can go around as if you have a bad smell under your nose. What could that be? Virgo is a sign that can polarize. Okay. This strong need to be so orderly and clean can turn into the opposite, your being untidy or loose, either voluntarily or otherwise. As a rule, you have a liking for animals, especially small ones or pets. This is because they have a certain purity of being that humans, a certain purity of being that humans seem to lack. But then observe how natural animals are with their earthy habits. This is an example of one of those gray areas that you can fail to see or avoid seeing as you are predisposed to seeing life in black and white. Yeah, that's the thing about the Virgo energy. You want it, it's dirty, you want it clean. It's unpure, you want it purified. But that can make you, that's crazy making, because you're going to always spot the dirty stuff, okay? And you're going to be, nah, you ain't got to do all of that, okay? But it is to those gray, misty areas that your unconscious will always draw you as it urges you to understand that there is as much purity in darkness, okay, as there is in light. There is as much purity in darkness as there is in light. And that you can trust the mysterious more than the logical. Hmm. What you don't know is always greater than what you do. All right, all right. That's heavy. The moon in Virgo is kind of heavy. All right. So let's deal with the moon in Virgo transformer, which is just a set of words, positives, negatives, problems, and solutions. Okay, let's get this in, my people. We want to be our top level quality Virgo selves, right? And I got Virgo somewhere in my chart. Okay, it's somewhere. I don't know where. I got to do a chart reading. I think I have it here. Let me see. Where's Virgo at in my chart? Where's my chart? Here it is. Okay, here's my chart right here. I have Virgo in the 11th house, which is the house of Aquarius. Now that's interesting. Okay. Anyway, the positives with you Virgos, conscientious, Virgo in the moon now. Conscientious, dutiful, straight, and upright. Okay. And in the negative, yet again, is worrying, austere, prudish, and rigid. Okay. It's a little bit more intense in the moon than it is in the sun. Prudish and rigid. Okay. Okay. The problem could be that you're feeling that life is all uphill and that everything will fall apart if you relax. Oh, okay, that's serious. You wonder if Tony Baker is a Virgo. This sounds like him. Who's Tony Baker? Who's Tony Baker, RTO? I don't know who that is. And probably is. Well, this I'm reading right now is Moon in Virgo, so check it out. Feeling that life is all uphill could be the problem for you being so rigid, so prudish, so there and such a worrier in the negative, okay? And that everything is going to fall apart if you relax. Nah. Okay, so the solution would have to be, who or what are you serving? Are you devoted or enslaved? Oh, that's serious. Who or what are you serving? We know that that Virgo energy is about serving. But what though? You can't be serving. You got to know what it is you're serving. Don't be serving no crap that's going to have you feeling that life is all uphill, okay? And that you can't relax. And if you did relax, everything will fall apart. Who or what are you serving? Are you devoted to this or are you enslaved by it? Check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay? I'm just saying, Virgo, okay? Don't overdo it. All right, you have these qualities of service, but it's up to you to serve what's right, okay, and what benefits you. You're not called to serve something that you don't want to serve, to the point of messing your life and your health up, okay? Who or what are you serving? Are you devoted or enslaved? You ain't got to be enslaved to it, okay? Slavery ended, all right? So, positives, okay? You are shrewd, Moon in Virgo, methodical, precise, and discriminating. Okay. The comedian that does the animal voiceovers. Oh, that dude. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. You know. So, in the positive, Moon in Virgo, you're shrewd, methodical, precise, and discriminating. And in the negative, you're cold, exacting, pedantic, and carping. Carping. Okay, wow. So why are you carping? What's going on? What's the problem? You no longer enjoy your full time job maintaining the illusion of control. I'm not, oh my goodness. You no longer enjoy your full time job maintaining the illusion of control. You're not in control for real, for real. It's, it looks like a full time job and you don't even like it no more. It's just saying that you're doing too much. You're trying to maintain everything in perfection. You got to allow things to go imperfect sometimes. Sometimes it's just not going to be in control. It's just not. And you don't have to feel bad about that. Okay. So the solution could be realize that the idea behind any method is to reduce wear and tear. Okay. I'm not getting that. Realize that the idea behind any method is to reduce wear and tear. Okay, I guess you guys understand what he means by that. In this transformer, the way he words it, it goes over my head for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, more positives for the Virgo moon. You're neat, you're clean, you're health conscious, and you're helpful. But in the negative, you're neurotic, clinical, you're a health freak, and you're interfering. You know what? In these times that we're living in the 19 times, I could imagine that is extremely hard for a Virgo. The 19 times has got to be real hard. And a lot of them are going to be the nurses, the doctors, and, that kind of thing. It's got to be really difficult for them. I would imagine. That's just, all right, that just occurred to me. Neurotic, clinical, health freak, and interfering, okay? You guys are always interfering. You're trying to make something perfect, and good enough is good enough. All right. So the problem could be your well intentioned preoccupation with health makes others avoid you like the like the plague. Your your well intentioned is well intentioned too. It's not like you want people to be healthy. Your well intentioned preoccupation with health makes others avoid you like the plague. Wow, that's serious. We don't want it to be like that for you, okay? Moon in Virgo, okay? So the solution to that would be healthy body equals healthy mind. Not necessarily. Oh, okay. But a pure heart emanates a healing aura. Oh, that's really good. Excuse me, my people. A healthy body equals a healthy mind? Not necessarily, but a pure heart emanates a healing aura. I like that. Yeah. Just because a person has a healthy body does not mean that their mind is right. It could be that they're neurotic, you know. But if you have a good heart, then you're going to emanate a healing aura that people are going to be attracted to and may even be inspired to get better in their health, you know. That's that's better. That's a more spiritual way to go about it, right? So, more positives of the moon in Virgo would be modest, unassuming, gentle touch. That's Mr. C, moon in Virgo. Mr. C. Oh, that's your name. Him, that's Mr. C. You know what? I'm butchering your name. I'm sorry. You have a moon in Virgo. Okay, you want to listen to this then, right? You want to listen to it. See if it fits. Do you feel that any of this resonates? Because it's going to talk about the positive, the negatives as well. Some people are not dealing with the negative aspects. You know, they all positive in their vibrational frequency, but it's just here so that you can compare and contrast, which is something that Virgo would do, right? So, modest, unassuming, gentle, and a light touch. But a negative would be falsely modest, undemonstrative. Okay, that's what someone was just talking about. Where did I see that at? Yeah, Inmo said it. I just, unfortunately, I just come off hard and emotionless, but I low key feel everything fully. Yeah, okay. You're just not demonstrative. That's what that means. You don't demonstrate it. You don't, do any kind of wild and crazy emotional kinds of things, but it doesn't mean that you don't feel it. Same here with me. Okay. So the negative, falsely modest, undemonstrative, timid, and creepy. Hmm, I don't know what that means. But anyway, the problem with that is feeling underestimated and rejected, afraid or unable to express your deepest feelings. See, that's what that is. You're afraid or you're not able. Some people are not able to express their deepest feelings. So you're feeling those feelings, but you're not able to express. And so people, they don't know because you're not expressing. And a lot of times when you don't express, people assume that you're hard, cold, dry, and all this stuff. But it's not fair because you do feel those feelings. You just don't know how to express them. So, what can you do? What's the solution to this? Okay. It takes time to be aware of your true worth. But when you are, others will be so automatically. It takes time for you to be aware of your true worth, but just when you do become aware, others will automatically. They'll be able to know who you are and relate to you that way, and it's going to just be a better deal, right? That's the solution. So you just got to put that work in. That's all it is. That's all it is. You got to put in the work. We all do. That's what this is about, right? So, more positives. Finely tuned, keen instincts, analytical, and concerned. Okay, that's your positives. But the negatives would be hypersensitive, prejudiced. Wow, okay. Labeling and anxious. Hypersensitive. Wow. The Virgo, hypersensitive. I wasn't thinking that. Prejudiced. Oh, okay. Well, this is the moon. The moon in Virgo. The moon in Virgo. Hypersensitive, prejudiced. Okay. Labeling and anxious. That anxious is always somewhere near with the Virgo, right? So the problem could be that reducing life to a set of theories and pigeonholes results in your being fearfully restricted. So if you are reducing your life to a set of theories from which you are working from and drawing your conclusions from, and pigeonholes, okay, which are negatives, rigid negativities, right? Pigeonholes, right? This results in your being fearfully restricted. You're going to be restricted with that, and it's going to be fearful to you at the same time. You don't even feel comfortable, even though you've created that, in the negative. We're talking in the negative. Life ahead of you, the solution. Life ahead of you is multicolored experience. So why switch to black and white? Life ahead of you is a multicolored experience. So why are you switching to black and white when there's colors all around? Uh, In my world, there sure are colors all around. I got colors everywhere. I got yarn that I look at every day. And look at me, I'm messing up my camera angles here just to show you guys the colors. I just jacked everything up. All right. Sorry about that. It's gonna have to stay like this because I don't know what I did here. All right, but still, the colors of life. You gotta experience those colors, Virgo. You ain't gotta be just in black and white. Even though that's what I'm wearing today, black and white. But like I said, I got colors everywhere too. I got black and white and colors, both. Oh my goodness, life ahead of you is multicolored. Is a multicolored experience. So why switch? See, you're switching to black and white. This is a switch you've made because you're being too exacting. Okay, you're pigeonholing. You're trying to be so exact. All right. This is a moon in Virgo. Don't do this. Expand. Okay. Expand and experience everything. Okay. You deserve it. And you can, just because you're a moon in Virgo doesn't mean you can't experience the color as well. All right, my people. All right. This is it. Okay. We have done it. We have read the sun and the moon in Virgo. Now I feel that I have learned a huge amount about Virgo. That's why I love this book so much. And my people, it's very beautiful to learn this information. Now, once you know this, then you have something to compare and contrast with. And so you don't feel stuck. You don't feel like you're in some kind of a pigeonhole as a moon in Virgo or even as a sun in Virgo. You can say, "Oh, okay, I'm tripping right there. That's probably that's that aspect of me that I be tripping about and whatever, and I let me check myself before I wreck myself." You can do that. And even when you do that, you just feel that much better. Okay. So my people, yes, moon and sun in Virgo, I have done it. It is done. I'm hyped right now, which is the way I just feel like I'm always hyped. But make sure you come back at 4 o'clock because we're gonna be doing Libra. All right, that's gonna be fun because I'm a rising sign Libra. So my people, thank you all once again for being with me. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to my channel. Make sure you share me with everybody. I am trying to build this channel up. I expect you guys to help me with that. I sure hope you do. You're not obligated to it, but I sure hope you do help me. I'm in this moon, this Leo energy, and it's got me begging. You know what I mean? I'm just begging on bended knee. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, acting a fool. Peace, my people. Let me leave. All right. I'll see you again at 4 with Libra. Okay. The mess my camera angle up and everything is a mess.